Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You can't tell because that thing's right in the middle.
I know.
I'm not recording that though.
Oh, you're not? Oh. Dang it. I guess you won't, huh? Okay, well.
Oh.
Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Hi guys, welcome to Gen-Xen.
I'm sure everybody can hear that. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm so motivated today.
Do you want me to do it?
I can do it. I just need to be tuned up a little bit. By the way, if you guys want to see our blooper tape, we don't have one.
We don't have one. Yeah, I was like,
So, you can send $12.95 to P.O. Box 5227, Pueblo, Colorado.
What?
That's an old joke. You don't know that?
I
You don't remember those things where they're like, "This is how you can make money. Get a free list. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box blah 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 blah, Pueblo, Colorado.
No, I never heard
Find
of that.
out more." Oh my gosh, that was like.
Was that like a Colorado thing though? Or
No,
was
it was nationwide. Nationwide, like there's this one guy that was like, find out how to save money and blah blah, and find out the secret government money making secrets. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box blah 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 at.
You know what secret government thing that I would be totally cool with getting?
What?
Cheese. Those secret caves of cheese. I guess they're not secret anymore, but those big caves of cheese.
Oh really?
Yeah, you don't know anything about that?
No.
Yeah, so apparently, I don't know when it was, but the government decided that they needed to store cheese. And the thing is with cheese, is if it's stored right, it really doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
So they've got like these massive vaults of cheese. I would take some of that.
I would too, but it seems a little bit cheesy to me. There we go. There's the first bad dad joke of the day.
Bad joke, yeah.
Yep. I know you people pay good money for this, so you know.
Right.
This is how we get warmed up before a show.
This is what a free podcast. That's you get what you pay for, right?
Yep, exactly.
To quote Dave Ramsey, you get what you pay for.
Exactly, and this is how we lose subscribers. No.
Probably. I don't know.
So, did everyone get that? Kerrie wants government cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cheesy.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm still waiting for the aliens from Area 51. By the way, that's another good Netflix documentary. Yeah.
We cannot adult
We cannot
today.
adult today. It's one of those things. It's like, we were supposed to do this shit yesterday, and my stomach was like, fuck you, and...
And now it's my turn, because the nausea is super high with me right now, because it's my medications. They make me so nauseous, and even if I take it at night, it's still... anyway.
Yep. All right.
So, before we get into our episode today, our Veterans Day episode, since the weather has been cooler, have you been getting out and doing stuff?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, me too. So, it's really cool and weird when I get onto like our Send It stuff, because I do a lot of those Zooms, you know, because they're only like about an hour long, so I don't have to sit for very long. But like, Canada's already got snow. The Pacific Northwest was getting hammered with rain. I talked to my mom. She said they had nothing but rain and wind and some thunder and lightning, and I'm just like, it is 85 degrees here. So
I know one of the other Send It people posted a thing on Facebook, and that was like, I guess Chicago either got some heavy frost or some snow.
ooh.
And I was like, oh, it's cold over there. But she was also talking about like almost hitting a deer and like
Oh gosh. Well, you can do that here though too. You can hit a deer here.
No, I prefer.
I've almost hit a deer.
I prefer to hit elk.
Well, a friend of mine and I were coming back from a photography session. We're coming down from Payson at night. So we went up there to do some astrophotography. And on our way down, we were talking about his daughter was turning 16 and was like getting her learner's permit and stuff. And we were talking about drivers and hitting deer and stuff like that. And I, do you not, 10 seconds later after we talked about hitting a deer bounced out. It was a mule deer, so it was huge. And it bounced out from the higher side, because we're coming down from Payson, higher side, and bounced, like, it just decided it's boing, boing across the highway, and we almost hit it. And we both looked at each other and we're like, holy crap. Oh my gosh. Because we had just been talking about it. It was so weird.
Most of the time they can make it. When I was I used to drive out to my dad's house in Michigan. I would go up through Wisconsin and cut across the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And when you're going through that, okay, so it's a 2-lane highway, right? And you go through the Hiawatha National Forest, right? And it is probably the creepiest thing to do at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's not because it's dark. It's because there are like hundreds and hundreds of deer on both sides of the highway, staring at the cars, thinking about which one is going to run in front of you.
Yeah, they're like playing Frogger.
Yeah. They're like.
I had to deal with that in Washington when I'd come home from work, because I also worked at night, and multiple times I almost hit a deer. I had one where I almost hit it with my truck. It jumped out in front, of course, and I would go slow because I knew there were a lot of deer. So with this one, it actually kind of hit my truck instead of me hitting it, and it left fur in the like where the wind or the mirror is, the side mirror. It actually left fur in there. It was like, oh, okay.
I would say probably the deer hit of the decade was when my mom took out 3 at one time.
Oh, she's lucky she made it.
Yeah, we were all in the car. No, we were in an SUV.
Car?
Yeah.
Oh, SUV. Okay.
Yep, we were in her Hyundai Santa Fe, and
that's still small.
We were driving down the road and we hit one. So it was kind of like this. All 3 of them decided to cross at the same time.
What kind of deer are they up there? Are they mule deer?
Mule deer.
They are mule deer, because mule deer are much bigger than like your little. Yeah. Certainly bigger than like I think England has like roe deer that are like small, really small compared to like mule deer.
Well, they have like Well, we were in Montana when that happened, and
there's a lot of deer hits there, and elk.
And we were in between the middle of nowhere and the middle of fucking nowhere. Like,
I've driven that route.
yeah. I mean, the closest, like, we were in between. I want to say we were in between, somewhere between. What was it? Somewhere between Billings. And what was that other town? I don't know.
Was it like on the east side of Montana?
Like,
or was it more on the Rocky side? Rockies.
It was more eastern Montana, but I want to say it was like it was in between like Billings and Bozeman. I want to say it was between Billings and Bozeman. One of the little side roads, one of the little byways up there, because we had to go up to Great Falls to pick up my sister.
Oh, I've been to Billings. I've been through Bozeman to get to Billings. I went to the not Grand Canyon. Been there too, but Yosemite. Not Yosemite. Gosh, I've been to Yosemite too. Yellowstone. Yellowstone's the one that's in Montana and Wyoming. And,
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I've been to Yosemite in Wyoming, and I've been to Yellowstone in California.
right?
And
the Grand Canyon in Canada.
and the Royal Gorge in Arizona, and the Grand Canyon in Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we're doing good today.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
But
I also went to Salem, Oregon to go visit the witch trials. So
actually, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I've been to Salem. It's been a really long time. We used to go there like every couple of years when I was a kid because we had some family friends down there, and those were long car rides. Of course, when you're like 6-7 years old, anything longer than 20 minutes is a long car ride. But they were long car rides coming from the Seattle area. But they probably do have some like witch stuff there. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's just outside of Portland, kind of. Not really outside of Portland, but Anyway, I got out last night with my camera, and because after you texted me and said you couldn't do it, I was like, okay. So I did my thing in the morning, which was like I went to a thing for wildlife conservation, which wasn't exactly what I expected, but it was right next to a gluten-free bakery, so I was like, yes. I had a cinnamon roll for the first time in like 3 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. Expensive, but good. Totally worth it. Gluten-free Creations in Phoenix. I think it's Phoenix. It's 32nd Street and just south of, I want to say south of Thomas. So that's like kind of right in the heart of Phoenix, kind of. But I got out there and I had this osprey that was, because there's a lot of osprey out there because Tres Rios is like a wetland area, it's a water reclamation area. There's this osprey on a tree that was like absolutely gorgeous, and I started taking pictures. I'm like creeping up closer and closer, and it starts to do this like thing like this, right? And I have birds, so I know this means that they're getting ready to fly. So I'm like getting ready, I'm perched, like it's not like this, with my camera, and he like hunkers down like this and lifts up his tail and lets out this big spray. And I got it all on camera. I was like, this majestic bird's taking a crap.
We have it on camera.
I have it on camera.
Yep. Kerrie likes to take pictures of birds taking a shit. I mean,
Oh my God. Well, and I did get him later with his wings stretched out and flapping, but I missed the shot where he actually flew. I'm like, this is what wildlife photography is like, though. You get the literally crappy pictures, and you don't get the pictures that you want, where they're like being all cool and stuff. But whatever. That'll be one for my crap photography. I am on a Facebook group called Crap Wildlife Photography, and that one's gonna go on there.
Yeah, I have a picture of this blackbird. It's in a bush, and it's just like giving me like the death stare, like it's going to peck out my eyes.
Oh, I have plenty of pictures like that. I'll put that picture in with this. The osprey. I guess I could also include a picture that's actually nice. One of the better pictures. I got some really good pictures. Anyway.
So, how many people do we have for?
I don't know. I didn't. You're talking about to talk about?
To list? Just to mention. Yeah, to list.
We can either mention. I mean, I was thinking about this, like my mental list. I'm not gonna remember everybody because I know a ton of people. But I can mention off the ones that like pop into my head, and then we can do a list like at the end or in the middle or like periodically, and just have people listed. But I don't think I got any. I don't recall getting any, like, nobody actually texted me and said, hey, I want, or not texted. Boy, I'm doing good today.
Yeah,
nobody emailed and said, hey.
Yeah. My cousin said her dad.
Okay.
And then I never heard from my friend's wife, but we're going to do his anyway because she doesn't she doesn't even know. I don't know. I sent her a thing. I was like, hey. She never responded to me, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get.
She probably hasn't been on Facebook in a while either, so.
Yeah, nobody filled out a form that I'm aware of, but that's okay. We just got the form up, so, and I forgot to put the link on to the form on the last post. Oh my gosh, we gotta get more with it. All right, but I do have some Reddit stuff for us. Now it's all about deployment though,
Okay.
so I didn't really find anything about veterans necessarily, but
I have a few stories. And
you mean I'm gonna put that out.
we haven't even started the podcast yet.
Mine's recording.
So is mine, but we haven't done the introduction or anything unless you want to use that crappy introduction.
Yeah, we can do that.
I thought we were just shooting the shit.
That's part of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I have a few from that one place that we worked at. And then I have a few from that my friend Paul shared with me
Okay.
about jump school and some of the horrors of jump school.
Like for parachuting?
Yeah, he was in the I believe he was in the 101st Airborne.
Okay.
Yeah, he had some interesting stories though. But yeah, so we're off to a slow start. So
Yeah, we totally are. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
So
we are 10, 20 minutes.
so this is Gen-Xen Grip. I am Steve. My esteemed partner over here is Kerrie.
Hi.
And we haven't had enough caffeine, but we want to wish all of our veterans a happy Veterans Day and welcome to our Veterans Day episode. Just as a reminder, I just want to say that that everything that goes on in this show is pure opinion. We do cover some stuff on mental health, and we do give advice. Just keep in mind that we are not financial advisors, even though I am a therapist.
And I was a financial advisor.
And she was a financial advisor. This is in no way, shape, or form to take the place of therapy, or is it financial advice, or is it insurance advice? It's just sheer opinions from two oddballs that don't know what generation they belong in because they're, we're too damn old to be millennials, and we're too young to be Gen Xers. So we're in the cusp.
Yep.
So welcome everyone.
Welcome. I was going to add to that, but I don't remember what it was.
And that's what happens when you get old.
Yeah, but we're not old yet.
We're not old yet. We're not old until we're sitting on the porch in our rocking chair saying,
well, okay.
back in my day.
Okay, I don't do that part, but I do have a back porch, and I do. It's not really a rocking chair. It's kind of like a hammock chair, and I will sit in that.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I'm sitting in a rocking chair on my front porch on my 600 acres, saying, "Back in my day."
If you have 600 acres, I'm moving out there.
Remember. But
Where would you have 600 acres at?
Somewhere far away from humans. So, probably.
Antarctica.
Probably like I don't know. I'd like to have some type of woods. So Colorado is too expensive. Wyoming.
Wyoming's expensive too.
Wyoming. Well, depends on where you go in Wyoming.
That's true. If that's the problem, because I've done a lot of land searching, and the issue that you come across is water.
Yeah.
How easy is it to get to?
I would probably end up in Montana, as close to the Canadian border as possible, or North Dakota, or Alaska.
Okay, you can live on your 600 acres by yourself. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going there. I have family in Alaska. I have family in Fairbanks, and they'll send me screenshots of like the temperature, and it'll be like 30 below. I'm like, nope.
Hey, I can handle 30 below.
They want me to move up there, and I'm like,
30 below. It's like that Jack London short story, To Make a Fire. That poor guy was screwed from the beginning.
don't remember that one.
So this guy, he was up in the Yukon, right, and he's freezing, and he needs to make a fire. So he goes all through all this stuff to try to make this fire, and he starts the fire under a tree,
Okay, yeah.
that has snow on it, and the snow falls onto the fire, and the guy becomes a human popsicle.
Yeah, I think we read that in high school.
Yeah, we read that. We read that in like 8th grade, I think, along with some other fabulous Jack London novels, such as The Call of the Wild, which actually the remake, the movie with Harrison Ford, was actually very, very good.
I haven't seen it.
But yeah, so veterans.
So yes, so we definitely want to honor our service men and women, both currently. I mean, veterans are people who have served, and of course, Marines say they're still serving even if they're not active anymore. But we also want to, of course, acknowledge our currently serving active duty. You know, I work a lot with military, so I don't really know how much I can say, but I'll just say that the people I talk to a lot of times, or most of the time, are in the military, mostly active duty, but not always. And we definitely want to honor them, their families, the sacrifice that they make. And we have some Reddit stories that aren't really focused specifically on veterans, because I couldn't really find much, but I found quite a bit about deployment. And deployments are hard, because you don't get to, when you're deployed, they send you wherever, the military sends you wherever, and you don't take your family, because they're usually shorter. They can be up to a year and a half. And you may not see your family for a year and a half.
Very true. Very true. We're going to be using terminology like PCS, permanent change of station.
And that's where they usually will move the military member and their family, and it's usually for at least 2 years. Sometimes it's one. I mean, I have come across where they'll send over to like South Korea for a year, and they'll take their family with them. It's an actual PCS, not just a not just a deployment. And then there's also the TDYs, which is training. And those are usually really short.
Yeah. It's learn a lot of stuff just by talking to our boys and women, our
men and women.
Our men and women in the military, you know.
Boys and girls, men and women.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, so many of them are like, they go in at 18, 19, and I would be talking to them, and I'm like, you are... Okay, my sister is younger than me, and she has kids that are adults, and my nephews are older than some of the people that I talk to that are just starting on their first either PCS or deployment. So to me, they are like boys and girls. They're like kids.
I mean, you know, like
but they're not.
When I worked in the insurance industry, you know, you get a lot of those, you know, like 18, 19-year-olds that just started making pretty good money. You know, you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay rent at the barracks. And, you know, and they're like, yeah, I just bought this brand new Mustang and I want to get it insured. And then you tell them that, you know, that it's like, you know, $500 a month.
For insurance.
And you know, it's a good thing we're on the phone, because I couldn't give mouth to mouth or anything for the heart attack that they have once they find out.
Yeah,
so,
especially if they're California, Florida, some of the really expensive states.
Yeah. I think this kid was in Alaska actually, and
that one's usually not cheap.
And it was still like $500-$600 a month.
They'll get a brand new I don't know if it's a Challenger or a Charger. It's whichever one's like the fancy super fast one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a Challenger.
It's a Challenger.
Is it a Challenger? I've had people
Yeah.
that have done that, and then they call and they're like, I can't afford my insurance. It's like, well, you can't really afford the car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's not something you want to have. Well, they usually have to take out a loan, so they have to have comprehensive and collision.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is expensive. So.
Exactly.
But anyway.
Yep.
Not to get too much into the weeds. So I guess throughout this whole episode, we can just be like, recognize service members as they pop up into our head. We both have friends and family, that is, and then we can also post a list, throughout the episode saying who we want to honor. Because I have a whole big list. I'm sure you do too. So you can probably give that to me later.
Yeah, I have a few people. First two that pop into mind are World War II veterans. The first one is my grandfather, who served in the U.S. Navy. He was a machinist mate.
Oh.
And interesting fact about that is he actually worked on a sub chaser in the Mediterranean.
That's cool.
And he also did end up going over to China as well. Which was pretty interesting because he never really talked about it as just some research that we ended up doing. And then there was my great uncle Nick, who was actually in the Army Reserves, from what I could tell on the patch on his picture. Don't know too much about what his service time was or where he was. But those are the two that come to mind right now.
Well, I got 2 World War II vets too. Of course, they both unfortunately have passed on. They were both my grandparents. My mom's father, Jerry, so my grandpa Jerry, he was also in World War II. He was a fighter pilot, and that was the Army Air Corps, because there was no Air Force yet. That was created, I think, either during or after World War II.
Yep.
And he was a fighter pilot over Europe, and apparently he was shot down. He was a POW.
Nice.
That's what my mom said. He was like your great uncle who just did not really talk, or your grandpa who didn't talk, didn't talk much about it. Seriously traumatized, of course.
Yeah.
And then my mom's stepdad, my grandpa Warren, he was also in World War II, Army, and if I remember right, I think he was at Normandy.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know all the details. We just know that he was a vet. And they actually flew him, I don't know who it was, but it was either a Memorial Day or a Veterans Day weekend where he was flown to Washington, D.C. to be honored. Yeah. So that was really cool.
Well, that's awesome.
That was probably about, I want to say maybe 6-7 years ago. He passed away a couple years ago, so yeah, it was cool. And then my dad was actually Air Force.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, before he was Air Force before he ever met my mom.
Yeah. My friend Paul actually he was a Vietnam era veteran, and I believe he did his first stint in the military in the Army, where he was a part of the I believe it was the 101st Airborne. Talked about doing jump school and what really some of the what some of the tattoos get. Some of the really important tattoos that they have in the military. One specific one was there was this. They're at a tattoo shop, and I guess getting the parachute, the paratrooper symbol on your chest was a badge of honor, and one of the guys that he was serving with at the time got it a little bit too prematurely. and
oh no, and he didn't make it.
And what ended up happening was, well, they tried to talk him out of it, and we couldn't talk him out of it. Even the tattoo artist was trying to talk him out of it. And what ended up happening was he ended up having an accident during a jump and ended up in some high tension power lines, and that did not end very well for him. But you know, one thing I will say about Paul is he was very veteran forward. He'd like to take care of fellow veterans, and you know, and he would actually go out to some of the cemeteries out there and salute some of his veterans on Memorial Day and Veterans Day. You know, but he also served in the Navy as well and was very good at making fun of Marines. So, you know.
Yeah, I have a friend. She was actually we met when we were in first grade, like day one of first grade. We just clicked, and her name was Jennifer. Mm-hmm. And she ended up being both Navy and Army, so she served in both.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of unusual, but it happens. So.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I have a lot of friends that you know served through different generations. You know, I have one that was in Korea. Then I have one that I know a couple that served in Desert Storm, and I don't have their permission to mention their names, so I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And also you know, my cousin's dad, Bert. He was Vietnam era as well. He's in the Navy. He was a boiler technician. Boiler technician 2 is what he ended up discharging as, and there's also a picture of that I'm gonna send Kerrie of him on his receiving that accommodation.
Oh, cool.
So I also have a picture of my grandpa and my uncle and their enlistment pictures. So,
I don't have any of that. All I have is my Uncle Jerry's medals.
Yeah.
That's all I have. And I don't have, like, we as a family don't have any pictures of him. And I saw pictures of him when he was young, and like his first I don't think it was his enlistment picture, but it was like a group of him with his fellow pilots.
Yeah.
And it was so cool, and he looked so young. I mean, he was probably only 18, 19, 20 years old, something like that. And we don't have any of those pictures anymore. There's a long story with that I'm not going to go into because it's kind of depressing, but
yeah.
Talk about somebody who's vindictive, basically. But being that you're a therapist, do you have a lot of clients that are veterans?
I get some veterans.
Some.
I have some veterans. The fact of the matter is that if a veteran does go to therapy, they do prefer someone with military experience.
That makes sense.
Which makes a lot of sense. I would say that, you know, I have enough friends out there that I feel like I kind of know what a lot of these guys are going through. But you know what? Unless you've actually been out there, you don't know.
Right.
You know, the thing about it is you know, it's hard, you know, PTSD, you know, trying to work through some of the stuff that you're ordered to do and you know, let's just face it, like, you know, it's just one of those things to where it is just not a good thing, you know. I wish that that they took a little bit better care of our veterans, you know.
Yeah, I think that it has come a long way though from where it was, you know, 20, 40 plus years ago.
Yeah.
I
mean, you know, if we really look at things, yeah, it's better, but can it be better?
Yes,
it can. Yes, it can. I mean, you know, how much education do we do towards the families about the effects of PTSD and depression, and, you know, and the rates of you know, veteran homelessness.
Yeah.
You know, there should be no such thing as a homeless veteran. You know, and you know, the other rates, the death rates, you know.
Yep.
Can't say that specific word on here, but you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like, a lot of that is PTSD related.
One every 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's, you know, and that's because, you know, your government property coming in, and, you know, your diminished property going out. You know, I mean,
some people will probably object to that, but
I mean, you know,
from a logistics standpoint, you're probably spot on. From a individual humanities prospect or perspective,
there's a lot of people that there's a lot of veterans that I know that have expressed that.
I'm sure.
That have expressed
that's
that,
how they,
you know, like,
felt they've been treated.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
you know, I mean, but that doesn't take anything away from the pride or the honor or anything like that. It's just, you know, it's just you know, it's a cold hard reality. You know, I mean, how much, you know, how many debriefing periods do you get after a deployment? You know, what's some of the stigma that goes out there with some of the traumatic events that happen, right? You know, a lot of this stuff you don't even, you know, it's stuff that you see every day, especially if it's, you know, if you're active duty and you're in a war zone.
Boots
you know,
on the ground is very different.
Yep,
we don't
exactly,
get that.
Exactly. I mean, you know,
our media doesn't show that.
Yeah.
It's really
yeah. I mean, you know, and that's just the thing. Like, what can we do better for our veterans? You know, you know, the VA is there, you know, but is it the best?
It's also totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, it is. It's overwhelmed. It's, you know, and that's just the thing is from what I've talked to some of the people that I work with, you know, it's just, you know, the VA is good. The VA is there, but, you know, there's lots of red tape that goes along with it, and you know, that's a sad thing, but
it's so hard.
You know,
military families, they struggle so much. There's so much. I mean, whether the active duty member is home, or whether they're gone, it can be a struggle either way, because that readjustment period. I mean, you're basically as the person that stays at home while the other person goes off on deployment. That whole family they adjust when the active duty leaves, and they have to readjust when that person comes back. And it's like they're basically living two whole separate lifestyles each time, and so that's so hard. And we have a Reddit that kind of talks about that. If you want me to go ahead and jump in. Yeah,
go ahead.
Okay, this is just under r/military wives, and it was from a year ago. My husband deployed. We missed our first wedding anniversary. Our honeymoon was also canceled. We will be booking a new one 2 years from our actual wedding date. How do you deal with missed milestones? Oh, honey, you're going to have so many missed milestones. Do you celebrate when they are home? How do you let go of the sadness from missing out? Does it ever make you angry? Some days I'm so upset and angry at everything we've lost from this deployment. Now, a lot of people would have very little empathy for this person and say, well, you know, you knew what you signed up for. And there is an element of that, but at the same time, it's so hard. Military relationships are tough, marriages especially.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I've talked to my share of military spouses, and you know, like as far as I'm concerned, you know, they're probably some of the toughest people out there. You know, constant shift in everything. You know, ask some of those military brats out there that have to relocate every 1 to 2, 3 years. You know,
yeah, that's so hard on kids.
You know, like it's, you know, I can't imagine how it is for you know, to have, you know, 2 parents in the household, and then one of them gets shipped off, and you know, and you only have one for a year and a half.
Yeah.
You know, and then they come back, and you know, like you know, it's a lifestyle, and people say, yeah, well, you signed up for it, but unless you're going through it, you really can't say much about it, you know. I think, you know, that's, you know, I can only speak from the experiences of others that I've heard, you know, and you know, maybe some of you, any military veterans out there, military wives, military brats, you know, chime in on this. You know, it's definitely something that more people need to know about, you know.
It's hard, and of course it's hard on the person that's overseas. Although, you know, I've known people and been in communication with people while they're on deployment, and it's a little different for them, I think, because they're staying busy, they're staying active. So, and a lot of times when people go on deployment, especially if they're going to a hot zone, they tend to not really think about their families. It's a different mindset that they have to get into. It's like when you go and you're gonna compete in a game, you gotta get in your zone, get in your game. Well, they're in that zone game for game zone or whatever for like a year and a half, you know, depending on, you know, 6 months to 90 days or whatever, 6 months to whatever.
6 months to a year.
Thank you. Or a year and a half. I'm doing good today. Really good. And it's not that they don't talk to their families. Sometimes they can't. It depends on where they're at. But it's just that once they're off the FaceTime or whatever, they're kind of out of sight, out of mind, because they have to focus on what they're doing. And their responsibilities can dictate, you know, or determine whether or not somebody else survives or is injured. So depending on, you know, what their MOS is, and and everything like that, and you know, it's a hard situation. It really is. I think,
you know,
there's this one. I think there's a response. I'm not going to go over all the responses, but this person responded, my husband is currently gone and I'm left to solo parent our 16-month-old toddler. He missed my birthday this year and our second wedding anniversary. We usually celebrate before or after he gets back. Luckily, he hasn't been gone too long, each underway. Oh, probably Navy. Although potentially Marines, but if they're going underway, that's usually Navy. Although it feels like an eternity with a little one. Yes, it upsets me that he's gone, but I knew what I signed up for. We had met when he had been in for 14 years. I don't let it get to me too much because I know he supports us with his income. But She says she does email him every day, and also find things to keep my mind occupied. I've been really getting into cooking, trying out different recipes, and having a part-time job helps. So, and I think that's when you're the one staying at home, that's key. One, develop your social network, your support system. Maybe not social network, but support system, and then, be learning. Try to stay learning something, whether it's a skill that you could take into a career at some point, or just something that you're interested in, hobbies. And I mean, military, especially when they're starting out, they don't make a lot of money, and if you're being supported on the one income, do stuff that's free. Do like YouTube classes and stuff, or online stuff that's free, because learn about something they're interested in, or something that can give you a skill.
Yeah, exactly.
But that will help a lot. So that's the first one. Do you have anything else to comment on that?
Let's see. No, not too much on that. I mean, I've talked to a lot of military spouses, and I have to say that they're probably some of the toughest individuals that I know, especially when it comes to adjusting, and maybe hard, but and not to say it's probably hard every time, right? But you have to do what you have to do to run the household.
Yeah.
So
that one was one which I think is the more common one, where a couple gets together and one of them's already enlisted, already active duty. This next story. Hey, it's Kerrie with the Gen-Xen group, and we kind of ran out of time for this episode, kind of a special episode for us, the Veterans Day episode. So we are going to continue with a part 2. So sorry for the abrupt ending here, but we are going to continue it. So look forward to that. Okay, thanks. Bye.